Well, hey there, I want you guys to just remember all this spots of dirt, because we're gonna come back to that. See, when I built my stairs last fall, I dug out, please don't tell me I don't have any fucking grass seed. When I built my stairs, or at least when I built half of my stairs, of course, dug out the soil like this. I just made these impromptu ones just to get me through the winter. But I dug out the soil, and then, you know, I had the option of, you know, putting it in a pile, adding it to the gardens, or taking advantage of trying to use it down here in order to level out my backyard. You know, I have noticed over the past decade that the leveling of it has become bumpier and ridgier. Of course, my kids play out here. I don't want twisted ankles, so thought, hey, I don't even need to go buy a couple yards of topsoil. I got it right here. I remember now. I just so happened to have been smart enough last year to move my grass seed into the basement in a sealed container so that the mice or rats wouldn't get up and into my shed. Sometimes I do surprise myself. So anyways, I'll get that in a second, but right now, I just want to rough this up a bit.
Oh, no. I'm only the appraiser.
It's been sitting under, you know, a bloody hell of a lot of snow. This here is actually really deep. This was an old tree stump that I had ground down. So it was a very big, like a caldera, you know what I'm saying, a crater. So I filled that up. That took a lot of the back soil. And then I've just kind of filled in a little bit in spots. A lot of it is pretty thin, so I expect the old grass to be poking through, but I might not have that luxury anymore, just because it's been completely covered for several months. Partially over there I wanted to level it, but I also want to break it up a bit just so it creates a better contact surface for the seeds. Now, if you live in a cool season climate like I do up here in southwestern Ontario, actually really the best time to seed your grass is going to be in late August, early September, so that it gets some roots down in there, survives the winter, but also it doesn't have to deal with the heat. I am sort of running a risk right now that if we have an early summer, things get too hot, this seed may start to grow really nice, but then it doesn't have deep enough roots to get into that nice cool subsurface of cooler soil. It is a little bit of a risk, but in this situation, I mean, I'm not gonna wait 6 months till seed. This is a blend, I should say, of Kentucky Bluegrass, ryegrass, creeping red fescue probably is in here as well. Just a local seed and feed place does, so it is their own mixes, but you're probably in like the, you know, 30, 30, 40 kind of range. The nice thing about having a blended grass seed that we can do here is that you know, each of those grass seeds has a different profile when it comes to drought tolerance and whatnot. So bluegrass, for example, might be, you know, a little bit stressed out and bolting. The ryegrass is still nice and green, so you still end up with really nice grass throughout the summer. Since this part here, like I said, was an old tree stump, there was nothing there except the big hole. So I'm gonna lay it on a little bit thicker there. I might come back and add some more. Over here, like I say, we already have a lot of grasses poking through. So I'm just gonna be adding to it, kind of giving like a little bit of a nice additional reseed. So I'm not gonna go as thick on this side, but I still wanna get a bunch down because I have a full bunch of soil that needs to be, you know, anchored into place, right? It's probably better to overseed and have some of those seedlings, you know, die out from competition than to have, you know, an Andrew Tate full head of hair. Last thing I'm gonna do is I have this old bag of potting mix from last year, and I'm just gonna kind of spread this out as thin as possible. Not as possible. Think about the words you use, people. As thin as possible is probably gonna be too thin. I'm gonna put out a little thin layer. It's gonna do a couple things. One, it's gonna hopefully stop the birds from eating all my grass seed because they won't be able to see it under the soil. And then the second thing is, because this is a potting mix, it's gonna have like a high concentration of you know, either peat moss or coconut coir, which is gonna be good for water retention. So that means that when it rains, it's gonna absorb that into that upper layer. It's gonna keep the seeds moist because it is gonna take you know, a few weeks before this pops up. I'm not going to worry about watering. We're coming into spring. We just had a huge snow melts. This entire, I had probably 2 feet of snow for Imperial people in the backyard here, and it was up to my knees actually. And that's all melted, so we have a fair amount in the water table. We're coming into spring. April showers brings May flowers, am I correct? So I don't need to really worry about being out here several times a day. See how, it's really, you can't even see grass seeds here. That's how thick it was, if not more. Right? Again, you're just kind of helping it out. This stuff will compact down. It's so light and airy, potting soil, right? Don't overthink it. If it's a little bit thick, you're fine. It's gonna get rained right down. I was gonna say, man, does it feel good or what to get your hands in the dirt? I was about to say, what's nice is I can finally, after entire winter, say, once again, if you're not dirty, you're not doing it right. So I'm happy to be able to say that slogan. But I will say this as well, that one, if you are in a more southerly climate, then you don't want to be using this kind of grass seed. You probably want to be looking at something else. You want to get plugs, sod. You can get seed for some of the grasses that you grow down there, but others you can't. St. Augustine is a very lovely grass, but I don't think that is a seedable product if memory serves. You have to get sod or plugs, but it spreads like wildfire, right? So you can get a few plugs and spot those around, and they will fill in. So you do have that option. I would love to hear comments below if you would like to see more lawn related content going forward. Let's face it, I have a small garden, so sometimes I don't have content to provide, but I'm always doing something, right? So if you'd like to see some more lawn related content, by all means, please leave a message and I will be encouraged to do some, because I do love keeping a lawn. I know it's controversial, but I've got 2 kids and they love goofing around on the lawn. So I'm not gonna I have plenty of other space areas dedicated to pollinators. So I'm not gonna apologize for having nice green grass, because my kids absolutely love it. They love rolling around on it. They have picnics out here. They have tent parties and play soccer and catch and stuff. So not gonna apologize for my lawn, but I do know a thing or two about taking care of it. So if you'd like to see some more, let me know down there. Otherwise, I will say thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.